What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and this is the detail speed test between the Google Pixel XL and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. So in the usual style, we'll be covering everything from benchmark scores to camera launch to loading, standard apps, games, and then finally looking at multitasking. Now before we begin, disclaimer, I am using the Exynos version of the S7 Edge, and this is the only version available to me here in the UK, but it is supposed to be slightly faster compared to the Snapdragon 820 version. We have the Snapdragon 821 here on the Pixel XL, and I have gone in and updated the software to the latest versions available on the devices at the time of this video. So we have Android version 7.1 Nougat on the Pixel XL, and it's Android version 6.0.1 Marshmallow on the S7 Edge. Now how much of a difference this will make, well, we'll have to wait and see. Now for the fingerprint scanner, I have done a separate video testing out the fingerprint scanners in detail. I'll link that in the cards, so definitely do go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But overall, both of these were super fast, very minimal difference between them. I'd say that the Pixel XL did edge it out slightly. Now for Geekbench 4 scores, the S7 Edge actually scores quite a bit higher, both for the single and multi-core scores. And the scores on the S7 actually were higher on Geekbench 3 for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. And I'm not sure why the scores on the Pixel XL are slightly lower here. Now for camera launch, both of these do have a shortcut. You can double press the home button on the S7 Edge to launch the camera, and on the Pixel XL it's double pressing the standby button. So doing both of these at the same time, I filmed them separately to make sure they are in sync, and I couldn't really notice a difference, so let's slow this down to 20%. And once again, I think they were pretty much neck and neck and there was no real difference between them. Now moving on to the app test, you can see here that we've got nothing else open in the background, and these are the apps that we'll be using for this test. They start from some basic apps, moving on to more intensive apps such as games. So to kick off, we are using the calculator. Both of them were exactly the same. I didn't really notice a difference. We're gonna leave a simple equation in the background and then we'll move on to the next app, which is Chrome. Chrome did finish loading up first on the Pixel XL. Now we're going to go onto the BBC News website and see which one of these devices loads it up first. And that was pretty much neck and neck. It was very difficult to tell. And we have this cookies message which we'll accept, and let's move on to the first article. Once again, neck and neck. It was very difficult. I couldn't really tell the difference. We're going to leave that open and move on to the next app, which is Twitter. Exactly the same. I did not notice a difference there. Let's go into the home page. Slightly quicker on the S7 Edge, and then notifications slightly quicker on the Pixel XL. So far it is very much neck and neck. Let's move on to Instagram. Very close. I think it finished loading first on the S7 Edge. Let's move on to my profile. That was pretty much the same, and opening up an image, the same once again. This is very close so far. Now let's move on to YouTube. So the content we have here is different, so we can't take this test into consideration. We'll go on to trending and see what we have here. Okay, some of these are not appropriate, so we'll go on to a video from my buddy Matt Santoro. Started playing first on the Pixel XL, and we'll leave this on in the background. And now let's move on to the games. So starting off with Angry Birds 2. Now what you'll notice here is that we have a timer. This is something a lot of you have requested to see exactly what the difference is. And I'm not actually going to speed these up, just so you can see exactly how long each of these take to load games up. And you'll also know the differences between the times. So the S7 Edge actually comes in first, just after 13 seconds. And that's actually a bit of a surprise to me. I was expecting the Google Pixel XL to come in first. And the Pixel XL actually comes in 10 seconds after, which is quite surprising. But anyway, let's move on to the next game, which is Temple Run 2. Once again, we have the timer here. And Temple Run 2 usually doesn't take too long to load up. So the load bars are similar. Finished first on the S7 Edge once again. This is very interesting, only ever so slightly. And we do have this message that popped up on the S7 Edge, but it was still faster, so that doesn't matter. We're going to play the game, and then we'll leave it open and move on to the next test. Now next up is Subway Surfers, and let's see how long this takes. So looking at the load bar here, we can see that the S7 Edge once again seems to be taking the lead. Let's see how much of a lead it's going to have. Just after 11 seconds, and the Pixel XL comes in a few seconds later. So this is a bit of a trend that we're noticing here. Last game here is Dead Trigger 2, and Dead Trigger 2 actually loads up in 2 stages. So firstly is the intro screen, which loads up first on the S7 Edge, followed shortly by the Pixel XL, and then we'll start a new timer for the actual game itself. We'll stop the timer at the same point when both of these actually finish up from the load screen. There we go, just over 10 seconds for the S7 Edge, and the Pixel XL yet again comes in many seconds later. So when it comes to loading up games, the clear winner here has to be the S7 Edge. Now let's have a look at multitasking. So we'll see how many of the apps that we had are still open in the background. So starting off with the calculator first, in the same place where we left it, and now we're going to move on to the Chrome browser. Yep, on the same article. We can scroll down here as well, and then let's move on to Twitter. In notifications where we left it, moving on to Instagram on the same image where we left it, and I don't know why I'm trying to scroll up here. And then YouTube, we'll try playing the video. Starts playing in the same place. Came slightly quicker on the S7 Edge initially. Angry Birds 2, same place. Temple Run 2, same place. Subway Surfers, same place. And we can also resume the game here just to see. Yeah, we can resume and it's all working fine. Finally, Dead Trigger 2 in the same place. So there we have it, the detailed speed test between the Google Pixel XL and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Some very surprising results here for me personally, as although for your standard apps and things, everything was pretty much neck and neck. But when it came to loading up games, the S7 Edge was clearly faster. Now I'm not sure if this is because we have the Exynos version here. I don't actually have the Snapdragon version to test this out, or if this is because the version of Nougat is too new for some of these apps and they are not fully optimized. I'm not sure. What we may do is when the S7 Edge does get upgraded to Nougat, we'll do another speed test. If you do want to see that, then drop me a comment to let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you haven't already, I'm not sure why you haven't, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications because there's lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.